Okay, so hi guys, good evening. Today we'll be starting with the workshop on the basics of UI UX designing, that is Figmatics. So the collaborative design tool that we'll be using today is Figma. I hope you guys know what Figma is, but if you don't, it's all chill. So I'll first tell you how to set up a Figma account. We'll go to our Chrome and we'll type figma.com. Once you're done typing figma.com, you will come to a page like this. This is the official page of Figma. As I already have an account, so I'll be logging in. If you don't have an account, just go and sign up. I'll use my Google to sign in. And cool, we are done. I'll give you 2 minutes to set up your account if you haven't already. Okay, so I hope all of you are done. So now I have a desktop app already. So I'll be working on my desktop app. We can also work online as Figma gives us this opportunity to design online. Create a new design file from here. Click new design file. And okay, we are here. This is our workspace. It's empty right now because it's a new file. So quickly I'll tell you what plugins we need to install. Plugins are basically the tools that Figma offer us. Here are plugins. We can directly get elements in our frame. I'll go to browse plugins in community, right click, go to plugins, go to browse plugins in community. Okay, we'll come to a page like this. Now I'll give you a list of all the plugins that we have to install. Okay. See, quickly type out free pick in the search box and you'll get two plugins. I'll do that too. Free pick, search, go to plugins, and here we have free pick plugin. So I have already installed it, so I'll not uninstall. You just have to click install. Great. So here are all the plugins that you need to install. Just do it fast. I'll give you 3 minutes and then we'll continue with the design. Also, once you're done installing all the plugins, just type done in the chat box so that we can continue. So I think all of us are done. Now I'll show you what app we're going to design today. I named it automate. You can name it whatever. So this is the basic mockup that I designed. Now moving on to our Figma. See, this is the app that I've already designed. We'll be designing a few screens from this. You can get all the screens from the drive link that is uploaded in the description of the very same video. I'll show the drive link too. See here, I have uploaded all my designs and there's a palette that I'll be using. So if you want to use my palette, you can just download it, or we can use different palette as you like. Okay, so first should I show you the prototyping of my app? Prototyping is basically how my app will be working once it's developed. So I'll be clicking on the play button here that is present. I'll be teaching prototyping at the end once we are done designing the screens. It's just an overview of what we'll be designing. Okay, so this is the splash screen of my app. By proceeding, I agree to the terms and conditions. Yes, I agree. I'll continue with email. Once I'm done creating an account, first name, last name, DOB, and what all details are asked, I'll sign in. I'll come to this window, that is my shortcuts. To add shortcuts, I'll either click on the gallery or just go to the gallery directly. I'll go check out my gallery. I'll add a few shortcuts here. I've created a scrollable page. This is the profile. That are all the details that I might have added during my sign-in. Back to my gallery. This is the automations page. Here I can create my own automations or just set up for a community. And my shortcuts, GG, we have added the shortcuts that I already needed. And shortcut 1, 2, 3, these are the templates that I could add. So scan for CCS registrations. If you haven't already applied for RAS registrations, please do it now. Okay, we'll be coming back to this. This is the app that we'll be designing. I'll go log out. Okay, I can also log in. Continue with email. I'll go login. I can use this login window to log in. Great. So design now. This is the design that I've already created. This is the palette that I told you about. You can download this palette from the drive. Now, what are these panels you might be thinking about? This left side panel is called the layers panel. Layers are basically all the elements that you put inside your frame. A frame is the screen on which you design your stuff. So here it is. I've put a text screen, I've grouped them, I've put my logo, and similarly for other screens. This right side panel is called the design panel. Here we can see how our elements are placed and what are the details, be it text or the constraints. Okay, so this is the prototype that I showed you right now. We'll be prototyping it later. This is inspect panel. You can see the width, height, and top, left, whatever the properties are of my screen and the elements. So let us start with the design now. These are all the shortcuts that I'll be using for the design today. You can find all the shortcuts on Figma directly using Control, Shift, and question mark. I'll show you, and just quickly take a snapshot of the screen so that we can continue. I'll be using I, F, R, and L and whatever it's listed there to make our designing easy. I hope you have taken a screenshot. Just type yes in the chat box. Okay, so switching back to our Figma. Great. As I told you, Control Shift and question mark, there a panel will appear, and here are all the shortcuts that are in Figma. I'll be using the shortcuts that I've already told you. So let us continue. Press F for the frame that we'll be designing on. So I can manually create my frame size, or Figma offers me multiple frame sizes. These are presets, which are for phone, tablet, desktop, and social media, etc. So I'll be using iPhone X today. I'll be deleting this frame. Press delete directly. Okay, so I have my screen ready. Now I can see my screen name here on the layers panel. I'll be using these colors, so just quickly press I and select a color for the background. I'll select this. Okay, color filled. Now I want this for the top and the bottom so that I can see what my phone will look like. So there's another community kit that we'll find here. Go on home, go to community, and just type Apple. I'm using iOS frame, so I'll be using iOS components. Now we have files. I want a fidget. Okay, great. So I have this. I've already duplicated the widgets, so I'll be coming back to that. Now I'll be using dark theme, so I want a white widget. I'll be taking this from the top. I'll press Ctrl C. I'll go back to my design. I'll press Ctrl V. These are free elements from the that community offers you. So yeah, we can use them. Go back to your kit and see, this is what layer panel does. If you're not able to select directly, just go to the layers panel and click on the name, copy, paste, Control V. Okay, so I've placed these elements inside my frame. Now I can work on them. These are the alignments that Figma offers you. This is left align, center align, right align, top align, and all. So I'll be center aligning and then top aligning the element. This I want at the bottom, so center align and bottom align. I'll be using these alignment tools a lot so that my design looks good. Great, so I hope you all are done with this much. Now we'll be designing create account screen first. I'll just bring it here and I'll bring my screen here. Keep your palette next to your phone, that is your frame, so that you can use the colors easily. Okay, first I'll be telling you how to view your elements on your screen. Here, click on prototype from your right panel, select a device, whatever you want. I'll be selecting iPhone 13 mini because my screen size, that is the frame size, is similar to this. Midnight is fine. So I'll be clicking on play again so that I can see what my screen will look like. Okay, these are the pre-designed screens. Where's my frame? I lost my frame. Never mind. Go back to this. create a flow so you can see it. Okay, this is my frame now. It's empty right now because I haven't put any elements yet. Okay, so we'll be using create account. Press T on your keyboard so that you can create a text window. Right, create an account. You can press T here as well for text if you don't know the shortcuts, but as I told earlier, I'll be using the shortcuts. Now increase the size to, I guess, 32. That seems fine to me. Select whatever font size you want according to you because it's your design. I'll be using the font Poppins for all my designs today. Choose whatever font you want to. Okay, 32 seems too big for me. Center line, create an account. Okay. This X and Y planes are used to set the elements X and Y coordinates. This is the width of my element and this is the height of my element. We can also change angles, for example 20 degree. I can rotate it by 20 degree, but I want to keep it straight, so 0 degrees. Great. So I'm done with one element. Now I'll press T again, or I'll click T from here. I'll make a text box and I'll write first name. Let's go and see how it looks. Okay, this looks okay. I'll change the size to 14. We'll adjust the text box size to the text size so that we can align it properly. I want it at 180 pixels from the top, so 180. Now press L on your keyboard, L for line, or just go to the shape section and just press line, L. Just click and drag to create a line. Here I've created a line. I want it for 350. It's too big, but okay, I'll center align it. Now it's not visible on my screen because the color contrast is not okay. I'll press on the line again. I'll select the line. I'll press I. Now I'll select a color from my palette. Okay, this looks good, but the line size, I guess, is too big. Yes, it's too big. So we'll go and see what it looks like. 300 pixels. We'll go to the prototype and check. Okay, this looks good. Now we'll align it in such a way so that the distance between them two is good. You can use inspect from the right side panel to check the distance between these two elements. Okay, I'll keep it 35 pixels. Done. Now I'll copy these two elements so that I don't have to do it again and again for all the details that I'm going to put. So I'll just press Alt and drag. You can also press Ctrl C and Ctrl V and then drag. That is copy and paste. Ctrl D for duplicate. That is also the same thing. Okay, I want first name, last name, date of birth, enter password, confirm password, and email address. Great, we have all our fields. You can take whatever number of fields you want, align your text in such a way so that it fits and the aesthetics are not destroyed. Date of birth, enter password, confirm password, and email address. Okay, now we can see because of the text window is very small, so it comes in the next line, so we'll just drag and stretch it. Make sure that it's equal to the text size because we'll be aligning it now and it would create a problem if it is not. Great, we are done. Now I will select first name, last name, date of birth, password, confirm password, and email address from my layouts. And I'll write on the left hand side of your screen. Press Ctrl and select everything. Now I'll left align it. It looks okay. I'll use my arrow keys to change the pixel and I'll shift it towards the left. I want it regular. I'll keep it regular. Now, as I'll go to my design, as I see that these lines are very prominent, so I'll decrease the opacity. To decrease the opacity, you just have to select all the lines. And here there's stroke and then there's opacity. I won't be using, you can change the opacity from here too, but I wouldn't be doing so. I'll just decrease the opacity of the color of the line. I'll keep it 60, I guess. Okay, we'll go to the prototype and see. Yes, it looks good. Now, what all are we done with? We have our fields. We have create an account. Now we want a button so that we can sign in. Press R on your keyboard and drag. Make whatever size of rectangle you want. So I'll be using 160 pixels of width and maybe 60 pixels of height. I'll go and check in my prototype how it looks. It's too big. I'll decrease the height. I'll take it 40 pixels or maybe 50. And width I'll be taking 150. I'll be center aligning it and rounding the corners. This option is used to round the corners. That is, provide the corner radius to the rectangle. Here. Okay, I'm done. I'll be checking the y coordinate. I want it at 680. Okay. Now I'll be recoloring. Press I and recolor. I'll go and check it again. Okay, good. Now I want to tell the user what this button is for. So I'll just press T again. And this is for sign in. A little big will work. 18. Center line. Yes, looks good. Now we'll group the button. Press Ctrl G to group the elements from your layers panel. I'll name it button. It's good to name your elements and your groups to whatever they are so that when you come back to your design, you are not confused to what it is. I'll quickly group all the elements that I've already created, this and this line. Group and name it first name. Group last name. Now, date of birth line, group, DOB, enter password. Okay, where's the line for enter password? Here it is. Password, group, confirm, pass, and email address. It's always good to group your elements so that they don't get shuffled later. Also be consistent with your font and font number, that is the font size, so that your apps looks consistent. Your Okay, great. Now, what if I'm already a member? I need some page to log in, right? But how will I go from create account to login? I'll add already a member. Okay, one space for this. So I shifted all the elements a little towards the top. I'll press T again. Already a member. I'll be prototyping it later, so I'll be creating two different text columns for the same. I'll tell you the logic later. Make it equal to the text. Press Ctrl and use scroll in order to zoom in or zoom out. You can even use plus and minus on your keyboard to do so. I'll go to my prototype and see it's too big. I'll reduce the font size. I'll take it to 12. And login, I'll keep it a little big, so 13, so that it's visible. Press Ctrl and scroll. GG. So we are done with this design. Make sure you align your text columns so that it doesn't create a problem later. Okay, I want to defer login from already a member, so I'll recolor it. Press I, select a color. Done. I'll go and see how it looks on my frame. It looks good. I hope you all are catching up. I'll be giving a 2 minutes break so that we can cope up pretty soon. Once you're done, just type done in the chat box so that we can continue with next screen. How can you fix the blank space on the right of your prototyping window? Okay, you might be getting a white line here, I suppose. You have chosen a wrong prototype model. That means if your frame size is 375 into 812 pixels, you have to go and select a device which has the same frame size. This is the frame size that is listed here. Okay, now auto width feature for the text. No, I'll not be using it because at times it may even disrupt your design. But if you want to use it, you know how to use it properly, you can. See, this is the auto width feature that we have. It's for the spacing, perfect spacing between the elements. You track, the space between the elements will change. Want to keep it 30, keep it 30. Keep it 40, whatever looks good for your frame. According to me, I'll just group and check the placement of the pixels from the top. It's 169. I'll make it to 150. I'll move it a little up. And now press Ctrl Shift G to ungroup all your elements. I grouped them because I wanted to move all these elements together. I personally keep every element that I have at multiples of 5. From the top, it's choice, it's your choice, whatever you want to do. Okay, to defer login, I'll just make it semi-bold. Okay, let's go and check. Okay, it looks good. I hope you all are done with this. Now we'll continue with the next screen. We'll be making, shall we continue with shortcuts screen? That is our home page. Okay, we'll continue with home page. I'll leave the login window to you guys. It'll be done in the similar way. We have already provided a link in the description to upload your designs. We would love to see your designs. And if you're done already with one screen, just create a folder with your name and add your design to it so that we can see it at the end of the session. Okay, now I don't want to align this top and the bottom view again and again, so I'll just Control D the whole screen. That is the whole frame. I'll remove the elements because I don't want these in the shortcuts panel. Now I didn't remove this because I want to keep the size of my shortcuts similar to create an account. It's a good practice to keep your fonts at the same size because it will help you with the aesthetics of the app. My shortcuts. Line it. Okay. Don't want this button, remove it. Don't want this too. I'll remove them. Just select and press delete. I want to lock these elements so that when I scroll, these will not move. I'll just go and lock them. Also, we can just select both of them and provide them constraints. Constraints are used to fix position of elements while you scroll or change the layout and all. So fix position while scrolling. Done. See the properties? It's fixed and it's scrollable. The window is scrollable, but this is fixed. Okay. Now I want a search bar. I'll press R. I'll make a search box. I'll keep the width 325 and height 40 pixels. I'll provide the curves 12 or maybe 10. Okay, I'll center line it. From the top, I want to be at 150 pixels. Okay. Now just select a color from your palette again, press I. I'll be using a slightly lighter shade, as you can see. That is the second color on my palette if you're using the same palette. If you're using your own palette, it's great. I'll provide it a stroke. That is the outline. Stroke is basically the outline of your element. I'll change the color of my stroke. I want it to be blue. What I did was I just clicked on this color here. This is the hex code. I pressed on this dropper tool and I selected my color. Okay, I'm done with this. Now where do I get these icons from? There are two options. One is you go to your Google and search for the icons, or do you remember the plugins that we installed at the starting of the session? We'll right click, we'll go to plugins, and there was Iconify. Iconify is a plugin for your icons. So I want a search icon. Great. So I'll take this one. You can resize your elements from here directly, or you can do it in your Figma as well. Just change the height from here. I wanted 24 pixels only, so I'll be using the same. By default, I guess it's 32. Now I'll import the icon so that I don't have to open my Conify again and again. I'll take all the icons at once. I want home for my shortcuts. Type home. Okay. Import icon. Now what if I deselect this? I want a lined icon for the same. To differentiate, I'm using different colors and different icons. See, I'll show you. Here, you can see the automation's lined and it's filled here. It's lined here and it's filled here. So I'll be importing all the icons for that. I already have home filled. Okay, I don't like any icon here, so I'll be just making the same icon to line. You can import whatever icons you want, or a different icon. If you don't want home, you want pages or something else, you can keep that as well. It's your app. Now I want clock for automations. I want a filled clock. Import icon. I want a line clock. We're using this one. Import icon. For gallery, I'll be using photos. Okay, I don't like the icons here. I'll just type gallery. Great, I got this. Import icon for filled, and for empty, I'll take this. Okay, we got all our icons that we'll be requiring for this window. But first, what do we do for this? The background, we need something to differentiate from the main window, right? For the nav bar on the top, what if we scroll it? We'll just press R and make a nav bar quickly. Okay, I'll go see the, okay, it's still on this. Prototype, remove flow. I'll be giving this the flow starting point now. Okay, I have my screen right here. Doesn't look good, so I'll just change the color of it. I'll keep this. Okay, I think you can differentiate the color, right? I'll be curving the borders, corner radius. So this option right here is independent corners. You can give corner radius to one single side, the second side, third or fourth side, depending on whatever you prefer. I'll be giving it a corner radius of 10 from the left top and the right top. Okay, I can clearly differentiate now. So it's done here. I'll just copy the very same thing, press Alt and drag for the top, center line, top line. But I want corners to be round at the bottom. So I'll just give them 0, 0 and 10, 10. Next one, 10. I can see curved corners right here. Now extend the box till here. Oh no, my elements are not visible now. It's because I placed a rectangle above my elements. This is the use of layers panels again. Just drag and keep it below my shortcuts. Yes, you can see it now. I'll keep it this much, 200 pixels. Now, what if I place some element behind it? So I'll just give it some effect. Go to effects, click background blur so that whatever's behind the frame will be blurred. Give it 20. See, I'll just show you. Okay, we're not able to see it because of the opacity of the color that we are using. Here we use pass through. See, now it's visible. The background's visible to me, but it's too much. So I'll just make it 70% so that the elements on the foreground are also visible properly. I'll give it a background blur of 20. Okay, it looks good for now. We can always edit the properties later. Okay, it looks nice. Pass through 100% and the fill color will be 70%. Great. Similarly, we'll do for the top rectangle. I'll give it an effect, background blur, 20. That is the blur radius. 20 is the blur radius. I'll be changing the fill color to 70%. Okay. Now let us put these options for the navigation bar. I'll press T on my keyboard and make a text window. I have a text column. Now I'll press my shortcuts on my keyboard. Now I'll align it. Press Control D because I want two more options, automations and gallery. I'll just drag. Okay. My shortcuts, automation, and third was gallery. Okay, so I have my shortcuts, automation, and gallery. Again, I'll be resizing it. Okay. Now you can see these lines and 14 written there. It's the spacing between them, and the line tells us that these are all aligned with each other. So when we select all these using control, there'll be circles you can see. It's for auto width. That is the space between these three things. I want to keep it 50. Now I'll just group them. Control G for group. I'll name them nav items. And I'll center align it with the page. Good? Yes, it looks good. Um, now, now what? We'll go and check how it looks. It's too dark, I suppose. So I'll just go and change the properties of all the text that I've used. I'll select all of them. Want to keep it regular, or should we not using poppins? We'll be using poppins. Just reduce the size. 12. Now, as I changed the font, the size changed. It's because every font has different properties. Center line, GG, we're good to go. I hope everyone's done till here. Okay, now we'll continue with placing our icons for the same. My shortcuts, we'll be using home for my shortcuts as I told earlier. Here I'll just bring in the icons that I had earlier that I imported from my Quantify actually. So I'll just drag and drop. This line here tells us that it's center aligned to my shortcuts. I'll press Ctrl Shift G to ungroup my elements because I've already aligned it. Okay, I'll drag and place my shortcuts right below the icon that I'm using. Now to differ, I want a different color for this. I'll just select my vector and my shortcuts because I'll be keeping them of the same color. Press I and select the color from your palette. Great, I have selected the color, but as I want to differentiate, I'll be using medium for this and 13, a little big. The font should be a little big so that when you press it, we can see that it's different from automation and gallery. Similarly, for automation, I'll be using a clock, and for gallery, I'll be using these photos. I'll be aligning all these three vectors so that they are in one line. We'll be using vertically align. Okay, I'm done. I'll go and see how it looks. It's too near to the text, so I'll just shift these a little above the icons. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. I'll go to inspect, keeping them selected so that I can check the distance between my text and the icons. It's 5 pixels right now. I think 5 pixels is good to go for me. Keep it whatever you want to. Okay. Now, I guess it's too prominent on the screen. Automation and my clock, my photos and gallery. So I'll select all of them. Go to design. Now make the pass through 70. Yes, it's good. Okay. So we are done with this much. I hope everyone's done with this much. We still need a text here. What will the user do of this? Right, so I'll be pressing T, my text. I'll be writing create shortcuts for things you do every day. Or check out the gallery. I want to differentiate check out the gallery. So what I'll do is I'll just select this text. I'll go to the design pane and I'll just increase the size a little bit, maybe 13 pixels. Yes, okay. And I'll be changing the color. This is the fill color, that is white. FFFF is the code for white. I'll select the dropper tool. I'll pan out and I'll select my color from the palette. Okay, looks good. Center line horizontally and vertically. These are the extra icons. Now what all is left? I still need a profile page, right? So I'll be going to Iconify again. Type profile. Get an icon for profile. This looks good to me, so I'll just import this icon. Okay. Want to increase the size a little bit. 36? No, I'll be using 40 pixels by 40 pixels. Okay, 40. This is okay. Drag and drop. Use your arrow keys to align the elements that you have. It's aligning to the top. My shortcuts. See, this is why we should group the elements. I wanted to select this my shortcuts, but I selected the one in the nav file. So I'll just quickly go and group them again. My shortcuts so that it doesn't create a problem later. Grouped wrong elements? No problem, just press Ctrl Shift G. Gallery. Automation. Always rename the groups so that when you come back, you don't have to look for it. Okay, I guess I'm done here. Okay, now this is my shortcuts and this is my profile vertical line and horizontal line. No, I don't want to horizontal line it. Okay, done. This looks good to me, but it seems a little above. I forgot to change the size of my text window. I'll do that. Again, horizontal align, Control G for group, and then vertical line. That is center align. I'll rename it to top because it's present on the top. What is missing? What is this box for? This is a search bar, but the user doesn't know that. So I want an icon for this. I imported this earlier, as you might remember, from Iconify. So I'll place it here. This is too big, so I'll just resize it. Okay. I'll align it. Cool. I need a text for this. Search. "12 pixels is good to go." Okay. Done. Now I'll be decreasing the opacity to 70%, yes. And I want regular for this. I want to keep it light. Similarly for this, go to selection colors, make it 70%. Great, we are good to go with my shortcuts page. It's ready. Looks like this. I hope you people are catching up. I'll be waiting for 2 minutes so that you people can complete. Once you're done, type done in the chat box. Okay, so let us continue. On this same screen, I saw that these things are so compact, so I'll just be increasing the size between the text from here. 5 is alright. This is the line spacing. Basically, when you press enter, the line spacing. Yes, I guess everybody knows that. Aligned. Okay, I'm done for this frame. We'll be moving on further with automations page. So what do we need for this screen? We need a fill icon for automations. We need these icons. We need a button for both of the cards. And the profile icon, we already have it in my shortcuts. We want a navigation bar and the top bar. Okay, so as you can see, we already have these items here in my shortcuts. So this is a little trick. We'll just be duplicating this screen instead of making it again. And I'll rename it to automations. Great, I'm almost half done with my automations page. But these icons, right, I have to change them. And I want same properties for automation. So what I'll be doing is I'll check what all properties I put for automations. I put 12 pop-ins regular for text. I'll be keeping it same for this. Regular 12 pop-ins. Color was white. Okay, alright. Now the pass-through is 70%. No, 80%. Okay, great. Now the filled icon. We didn't import any icon earlier. I didn't. Then I'll just go to my vector. I'll give it a stroke. As you can see, there's a stroke on my vector now. I'll be removing the fill. I have line icon here. I'll be coloring it white. Again, the stroke should be 80% of opacity. I have a line icon here. Now I want automations to be highlighted. So what I'll do is I'll change the icon. I imported a filled clock earlier. I'll just put it here. Use your arrow keys to align things. It's easier that way. See, I got 3 lines aligned. Now the color should be blue. As we put earlier, we'll just go to the shortcut screen, press I and take the same color. Automation, we want the same color. Again, I or the dropper tool. Now we have to copy the settings that we had for shortcuts earlier. Medium, pop-ins, color, same. Okay. Done. I have my automations page ready, but I want these cards to write. Press R, make a rectangle. I'll be taking 300 and 140. Too small, 150 and 325. Okay, center line it. Now you have your card right here, but we want the elements as well, and we want to distinguish it from the rest of the background. I'll go and select the color of the search bar. Now I'll be resizing it a bit. Yes, I have the basic layout of my card ready right here. Now what I want is elements on top of it. I want a button. For creating a button, I'll press R again. I'll create a rectangle. I'll take it 300 pixels. I'll just check. Yes, it looks good. I'll curve the edges. 10 seems fine. Now I want the color. Press I. Pick the color. Yes, done. Height, I want 40 pixels. Done. Use the arrow keys. Go to inspect if you want to check the width from the bottom. 10. Okay, I'm okay with 10. Okay, I have the basic things ready. Press T again for text. Make a box. Create an automation that runs on your personal space. Personal phone, actually. Okay, done. I'll resize the text box. It's too big. I'll just change the size to 12 back. Okay, done with this much. I want a text for my box 2 button, that is. I'll press Alt, I'll drag, I'll copy, create personal automation. I'll just select this rectangle and I'll align them. Okay, great. I want the color to be a little light. Fill color 80%. I recommend changing the fill color rather than pass through because it's better that way. Okay, I have this much ready. Now I want an icon for this. Again, iconify on the rescue, right? If you want to select the elements inside the block, just lock the block back, drag and select, and change. Great. I'll just unlock this. First of all, I'll do what? I'll just group all my elements so that I don't get lost again. I have these already grouped. Have. Okay, this is my search. Search. Do it for everything. It'll be better that way. Okay, now I want an icon. Okay, round plugin. Iconify. I'll type iPhone. Got my phone. I want the height to be 50 pixels this time. Import icon. I got the 50 pixel width of icon. I'll just drag and place it here. Great. I want to change. First of all, I'll just import the other icon as well so that I don't have to come to this plugin back again. I'll take this one. Again, height 50, import icon. Try to be as consistent with your design as you can so that it looks good. I'll select the vector, press I, select the very same color. Changed. Now I want the same card for below. Rather than designing it again and again, what I'll do is I'll just group all the elements here. Control C, card 1, and I'll just press Alt and copy it right below it. I want the distance between the two cards to be, say, 30 pixels. Done. Now I'll change the elements. Create. Just double click so that you get into the group and click to select whatever element you want. Create an automation. That works for everyone in the community. Okay. I want to change the button name as well. Create setup for all. Change the icon. Delete and drag and drop. Good. Now just place this icon inside card to group so that it's consistent. Now I want to change the colors. I'll just select the vector. I'll press I. I'll go to my palette. Where is my palette? Here. I'll select the color. I'll do same for the button. Press I. Change the color. Okay, I have my cards ready. My automations page is ready. I hope you people were catching up with me. So when you're done with these 3 pages, just upload your designs on the drive that we've already placed the link of. Great. Uh, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to catch up. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask them in the chat box. Also, I'll be designing 4 screens for now in this session, and I'll leave it to you people to design the rest of them. I've placed all the designs that I've created for this app right in this folder on the same drive. It's Figmatics speaker designs. Then go to Figmatics, and here are all my screens. I've already create an account, automations, and shortcuts with you guys. The rest of are here, and I want you guys to follow the same pattern and build all these. Okay, not delaying it any further, we'll go with the fourth screen, that is the final screen for today that we'll be doing together. Okay, what screen do you want me to pick? Gallery or my profile? Okay, we'll go with gallery. Again, the same trick, control D the thing. I forgot to place a rectangle here, so I just control C and control V it. Be copying it again, control D. Okay, now you'll see the use of background blur for gallery and even the layer lock thing. Okay, so I'll just quickly place these all things together so that I can show you what all I'm doing. I'll quickly take my palette here with me. Always keep your palette close. You cannot always pan out and pan back. Now, what do I want in this? Want this. That's it. Yes, that's it. And the nav, obviously. So I'll just delete these cards that I created earlier for automations. I'll quickly change the automations to gallery and resize the box. Okay, now what do we have here? We have this. Okay, I have my icons right here. I'll just bring them back because I want to change it for automation and gallery. As I've selected the gallery, I'll be highlighting the gallery now. Bring this thing back. Use your arrow keys to align. Aligned. Organize your layers properly. That is very important. Okay. I have to select gallery, change the icon, drag it out, drag it in. Select the dropper tool, select the color. Okay, so we have our gallery selected and the basic layout ready, but we want a scrollable page for this. So what we'll be doing is we'll unlock these items. We'll just select every item in this, we'll group and bring it out. I am doing it because I want to increase my frame size and I don't want to disrupt anything inside it. I'll take the frame size at 1110. Now bring your elements back in. Center line, top line, done. Control Shift G to ungroup the elements. Now as I already fixed these two elements, I'll fix them again. Fix while scrolling. Okay. Now I want these all. Shortcuts, get stuff done, essentials, and work from anywhere. These are the cards that will be added to my shortcuts. Again, press T quickly and shortcuts from your apps. You can type whatever you want. Be consistent with your designs. Use the same font size that you have been using throughout the app. Either make heading 1, 2, 3, and 4 for different font styles that I have already created. I remember what all I used, so I didn't do so, but it's a good practice. I'll just press Alt, C all, resize. It's too big as compared to the heading 12. I want to differentiate it, so I'll be using this color again. Okay, so great, done. This much done. I wanted a scrollable page, so I'll just select my frame. I'll go to prototype, and there's overflow scrolling. Just select vertical scrolling here. I'll create a flow starting point here so that I can view it directly. See, it's a scrollable page, but my nav bar is moving along with it. Even my gallery and search boxes. I don't want this happening, so I'll just go to my design pretty quickly. Okay, I'll copy the rectangle from here, I'll paste it, center and top line, bring it below. This is it, I guess, for the top. I'll just name it top again. And I'll lock, I'll just constrain it. Fix position while scrolling. See, it's not moving now. Yeah. I'll do same for the nav bar. Okay, I didn't put this inside gallery. Take care of these little things. It can disrupt your design. Center and top, fix position while scrolling. I'll go and check it again. Yes, it's fixed. Okay, now I'll just start with the background. But I don't want to move these while I design the background. So what I'll do is I'll just lock them all so that they're not moved, and I'll hide them. Okay, now your frame might look like this. Just quickly make the rectangles and place the text. Curve the edges. Yeah. Okay, I'll just copy paste these cards that I've already created. Alt, get stuff done. I'll not add these text and details. I hope you people can do it on your own by now. Good. Okay. Go to the palette. Select your color. Okay, I guess everyone's done till here. We'll add the text and all. So I'll not be doing it. I'm leaving it to you guys. So shortcuts to help you focus. It's too big. Okay. Decrease the opacity. Nice. But as I see, the spacing is not right between them. Go to inspect. Check the distance. Okay, this looks good. Okay. Once you're done with your spacing, we have a line here. Press L, drag again. Change the stroke size to 0.5. Want the color to be white and not 100%, 70%. Maybe 25. I want round edges for this. So these are all the options that you have for line. I'll make round edges. Zoom in, you can see the round edges. Okay, go to inspect, check the difference. I want it at 15. Okay. Now instead of making these cards can and text all, group, alt, paste. Change the headings and whatever the details are. Okay, so I'm done with this much. I'll be copying it again for my work from anywhere. Make sure that the distance between them is equal. For that we use this auto layout and then 25. Okay, done. 25 is great. I'll change the heading work from anywhere. People that time design the whole thing again, but why do it when you can just copy and paste the same thing, right? You've already created that. So as to save time, you just pick the same elements. Color again. Yeah, okay. I'll just place dummy text here because it doesn't look good to me. Text 1. Press Alt, copy. Press Alt, copy. Select them. Align. I want the spacing to be 15. And want it to be regular. And I want the text size to be 14. Okay, great. Now let's see how it looks. Go to prototype or representative flow. See, it looks like this. But where's the nav bar? We hit it. I'll go back to my layers. I'll unhide them. Okay, let's go to the prototype and see what it looks like. It looks like this. It looks good to me. I can scroll, I can see the background blur, I can see it here as well. Good, I'm done with this. So I'll be designing these frames for today. Now let's get started with the best part of today's session, that is prototyping. I'll be prototyping the screens that I've already made. Just listen carefully so that you can do that on your own later. As I've already created these 4 screens, I want you guys to all export these screens. I'll tell you how to export again. From Figma, go to design panel. Here there's an option export. There'll be 4 options here: PNG, JPG, SVG and PDF. I'll export as PNG. You people can export it as SVG, JPG or PDF, whatever you feel like. And then I'll just export and save to whatever folder you like. Also, to place your images from your gallery, just press Ctrl Shift and K to open the dialog box, that is place image, and select whatever image you want to place. Click. You can also go to F and then File, Place Image or Export Frame. Great, so we'll be taking a 5 minutes break here. Just quickly export these all frames and put it in the drive. Here is the drive link. If you don't find it in the description, you can just scan. And this is the CCS registration form. Just go and fill it if you haven't already. Be a part of RAS family and learn great things. Okay, so let's continue with the prototyping. Great, so first remove all the flow points that we already created. It'll create a problem otherwise. Just click on minus to remove all the flow points. Click on the frame, delete the flow point. That's it. Okay, so I'll be doing prototyping on the designs that I've already created here. Just place them aside. Okay, so let's start with the splash screen. I want it to be my flow starting point. Okay, so I on track want to go to this screen. That is, by proceeding, I agree to the terms and conditions. From here, we'll go to create an account page, and all of the other frames we'll see further. Want to go on tap, on drag while hovering, while pressing, or what all. We have all the options here. I'll go after delay. After delay of say 6,000 microseconds, it's too much. 60,000. It's all okay. I'll just keep it that way. Now, I want people to select this option before they continue with email. So what I'll do is I'll just select this. I'll double click. I have selected this ellipse right here. I'll take it to this frame. I've already made this frame where this is ticked. So people cannot go any further if they do not click this. While designing, like while developing the app, will be done then and there. We will display an error message. So now coming to this screen, I want people to continue with email. So I'll just drag and place it to create an account. You just have to drag from the plus icon and just place it. Okay, so I'm done with these three. Now create account. When people sign in, what do I want from them? I expect them to go to my shortcuts page where there's no card right here because they are a new user. Obviously, there'll be no card. Now, as I told you earlier, to create two different text boxes, this is with this. When you click on login, you can go to login page. Here, now we are done with create an account page as well. Moving on to the login page. Never prototype multiple pages at a time because you'll forget things. Like you'll forget to link things. Login. I expect if they're an old user, they've already created a few shortcuts, so shortcuts page. Sign up. I'll go back to create account. So for the abhi tak my frame looks like this. Now what I want to go to my shortcuts. Create a new flow for gallery. This is what layers are for, so that you don't have to double click again and again. I'll go to gallery, on tap obviously. Automation, I want to go to automations page. And my shortcuts, I want to remain at this page. So I'll link it to my shortcuts. Now I want the profile. Where's my profile? Okay, when you select the profile icon, I want to go to profile. I've created 4 different profile pages so that I can link them to automation, gallery, and a new shortcuts page. Okay, so check out the gallery. This is left. I'll go to gallery. I guess I want these all for this. Now I'll go to automations. As I haven't created any design for buttons, so I'll leave it be. I'll just select the profile icon from automations. Unlock things before you prototype them. Otherwise, Figma wouldn't allow you to touch anything. Profile automation. Done. So now I want to link it to my shortcuts here, rather for this one. Back to automations and this to gallery. I guess I'm done for this page as well. Coming to gallery. When people come to gallery, I expect them to add their own shortcuts from here. So what I'll do is I'll link the shortcuts from the nav bar. Where's my shortcuts? My shortcuts to this page now, which already has a few shortcuts designed. Automation to this one, and gallery back to gallery. Now I want to link my profile to a new profile page so that when I click back, I come to gallery only. I'll rename the frame profile gallery. Okay, so when people select see all, I want them to go to this page, get stuff done. So I'm done for this page now. Done for gallery. Get stuff done. I'll go to back. When I select back, I want to go to gallery back. It's basically the app flow, how you want your app to be, whatever you have designed. I want to go to profile that I linked to gallery. Great. My shortcuts, automations, gallery. Great, I'm done for this page as well. Moving on to another frame. Not able to select because everything's locked. Unlock everything before you start prototyping, otherwise Figma will not allow you to select things. Automations. My shortcuts. I'll quickly prototype stuff now. Okay, I'm done with this page. Moving on to my shortcuts. Okay, I created 4 profiles of this. Do not forget to link items. Automations and gallery. Great. Okay, when I press click, this plus, I want to come to my shortcuts, this, and when I press minus, I want to go back to this. So far, my prototyping looks like this. I have a few pages left. That is all the profiles. Okay, so this is what I linked to, these two. When I click back, I want to go to my shortcuts, and when I click on logout, I want to go to my proceed screen. Similarly for this, select the frame before you start prototyping. Plus this was a gallery, so I'll just go to gallery, and this is for logout, so I'll go to proceed screen. Okay, so I am done prototyping my model. I'll quickly show what we did earlier. Here, it'll take 10 seconds, so I'll just skip it because I made it 10 seconds. I clicked on this, I came on my next frame, continue with email ID. Again, this is what we created. Login page, sign up page, sign in, shortcuts, check out the gallery, add the stuff, whatever you want. Profile, go to my profile, back again. Automation, my shortcuts, I've already added a few shortcuts. Back, and when I press plus, I'll come to this page. Minus. Okay, see here I forgot to link minus. I'll go back to my design quickly. Or make it on tab instead. So okay. At times your designs may be on drag. If you want it on tab, just remove tab and press tab here. These are a few errors that you'll need to rectify yourselves. Great, so go back. Minus, now it's working. I'm done with my app. So this was it for today. I hope everybody enjoyed the session. If you haven't uploaded your designs yet, just go and upload your designs, scan the QR, fill the registration form if you haven't already. If you haven't joined the Discord, be a part of our community, scan and join Discord. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, that was it for today's session. Thank you guys for attending it. Bye.